What? I am alive. Hello and welcome to Growing Gratitude. I am very late today for Growing Gratitude, but welcome to it. I am Becca Lori Hector and I am your host for Growing Gratitude. I'm here every week. I try to usually be here at 10 a.m. Eastern time, but I am here every week with Growing Gratitude. And I am so glad to have you guys here with me. I apologies all around for my lateness today, but it was unavoidable. And I contemplated about what to do. And so now I'm excited. I can't see anything right now. I'm excited to talk to you guys about what I've been thinking about because I was late, right? So here's the thing about growing gratitude. Growing gratitude and doing it live assumes the fact that nothing will ever happen in my life that will require me to be anywhere else but sitting in my house at 10 a.m. on Sunday, right? Hey, Burnett. Oh, thank you so much for joining, by the way. And I am sorry I am late. So yeah, I was like, oh, well, that's how it works. And if I even more so when I set up the pre-link, right? For everything, it means that I have to really, it tells it, that I have to really be here in my, right? And I can't be anywhere else. So I'm trying to figure out how to solve that for myself, because part of the reason that I came back to, yes, Bernard, it is demanding, but I'm worried about communicating that to you guys. Hey, Bernard. And so, I think about how can I communicate that and how can we have that flexibility built into live, and so that I don't feel like I have to be stuck here at my house on Sundays at 10 a.m. But also so that I make sure it's available to you guys and that we do have it continues to have live nature to it. Right. And all of that. So we do have a lot of folks who don't come to it when it is live, and cat hair in the camera. Who come to us live, and that's because Miller is on my lap right here. He's a Meal Meals. Say hi, Meal Meals. He's just on my lap, purring away. But so how do I build that flexibility, and for me and for you, right? So that I remind you that life, yes, is demanding, and that sometimes I just can't, and sometimes I can't, and I didn't know ahead of time that I wouldn't be able to, right? And that's the other thing. And so I've been on the fence and thinking about that as for the last 2 hours that I was late for. And here's what I've decided. So I'm going to make this promise. And if you're not a regular watcher, maybe you won't see this video and I'll feel bad a little bit, but you'll catch up. So from now on, henceforth, at this moment, 12 noon on 4/13/2025, I think the way that I'm going to handle it for us is that I will do my best to be here live at 10 a.m. on Sundays, and the weeks, excuse me, the weeks that I can't, right? If you show up here on that day at 10 a.m. on Sunday and you're here for the live and I'm not here live because something happened in my life, just know that I will do a recorded upload for that week. So this way, when I have a moment, I'll sit down like I'm doing right now. And I will, instead of going live, I will just do a recorded upload of a video or something, or maybe I'll just go live randomly and then you can catch the replay, right? I'll do it as I can, right? So there will be something each week. But I think I'm going to build that flexibility into the way that I manage it, because it's the antithesis of everything you're supposed to do, by the way, in terms of growth and whatnot for your channels and all of that stuff. But the way that you're supposed to do it and the way that it works, right, is a full-time job. And this is not my full-time job, right? I'm hoping to build for us here a community that we can all gather as much as we can, and we can share similar thoughts, similar challenges, and we can work our way through them, right? And I hope it works, that what I do is show you that it's a decade out, almost 12 years out since my diagnosis, and since autism came into my life. And so it's really to show you that all of those years later, I still am learning and I'm still evolving and I'm still having challenges and having to figure out how to manage them, right? And I hope there's camaraderie in that. I hope there's a feeling of being validated in that for folks. And so that's what I think I'm going to do. And because especially as it's getting nicer outside and we're getting into spring and summer, if it's a beautiful Sunday morning, right, I just might want to go kayaking, or I might want to go for a hike in the woods, and I don't want to feel like I can't do that, because that's the antithesis of what it is I teach, right? I would never tell you guys to keep this kind of obligation over doing self-care. I would never, ever say that to you, right? And being flexible with how I do these things is certainly an example of needing to adapt something, right? To make sure that it fits and works for me as much as it works for you guys. So that's my plan. Um, I am gonna going forward, I promise you, every Sunday you will have something, right? Whether it's at 6 p.m. or 10 a.m. I will do my best to be here at 10 a.m. And on the days that I can't, I will either upload something or I will do go live when I'm available, right? And then you guys can catch it. Hopefully on a recording when you're available on that Sunday. So I'm gonna stop putting the links up ahead of time because that will also help. This way we don't all have to be at the same place. If I go live, you'll just catch me like you did today when I was able to go live. So I'm going to stop setting them up ahead of time, but we'll do Sundays at 10 a.m. and I'll be here. We're going to all do our best to be here at that time most of the time, because most Sundays I am sitting in my house at 10 a.m. But on the Sundays that I'm not, I want it to be flexible. I want to be able to go live from my phone or something so that I can share that with you, or record video on my phone of what I'm doing instead at 10 a.m. on Sunday, and then be able to upload that for you guys, and still connect with you on Sundays. So that's the plan. I apologize for today, but I hadn't really thought about it, and then it happened, and now I needed a plan. So that's going to be my plan, and then let's move on. Let's talk about some other real things that we should talk about on gratitude. So um, first of all, you'll see I am inside, you guys. I'm in. It is pouring rain outside. It's not even like drizzly or just like cloudy. It is just pouring rain all day today. And that's, April showers, May flowers, the whole thing. It's this time of year. It's why it's mud season in Maine in April. But it means here we are inside again. And I decided that today, since I was already so behind, I just wanted to hop on where my computer is already set up, which is at my desk, and so boring background and all of that, but change up from our usual. And by doing it this way, I got a little cat on my laps, and that's very exciting. And it keeps me calm. So I'm glad to be here at my desk and at least with you guys this week. So as I'm sitting here with this raininess, I've had a really busy weekend. I am losing my voice because I have done more socializing than I have done in probably a year. And I did a lot of talking and things like that. And it was really wonderful. And I had a great time, but I feel it today. I feel it in my voice. I feel it in my body. And so as soon as I'm done with you guys here, I had to run errands this morning because all of my routines were off from having this busy weekend. And so I had to run some errands this morning, which is why I'm late to you guys. And then as soon as we're done, I am full on couching it. I don't think I'm going to get up from there. I think that's it. And so if I can teach my dogs how to bring me food, I will do that. But I am really, I need a couch day today for sure from that. But it's been really nice because it's been healthy for me, and it's been nice with having been past winter to kind of get out in the world and see other people, because that's kind of what happens up here, is that as soon as it gets nice, the people that come to be tourists up here start coming back up, and also you and your neighbors, you start seeing each other back out in the world, because we're all not rushing to get what we need in between snowstorms and the freezing cold. We can walk a little slower from our cars and all of that stuff. So it's been really fun, and it has me reflecting on something that I think I'm going to talk about today, which is thinking about getting older. Because right now I am, let's see, about 15 days from my birthday. And this birthday, I'm going to be 49. And there are I feel very different ways about that whole thing as I look at it, right? First of all, it's not about being old to me. I don't care. I'm loving it. I'm really loving getting old. It would be nice if I was as still thin as I was when I was younger. But that aside, I'm really enjoying the freedom that is coming with getting older, and how I feel about myself and these things. And I've really enjoyed it. And I'm glad that I know that I'm autistic now, and before getting to this phase of my life. And so that's been part of this reflection. Is it's pretty amazing to me Nice, brunette. And so it's really, so happy early birthday, if I don't remember to say. Um, and so, yeah, I'm like in this space where I'm looking at it and I go, I've only been, identified autistic for 12 years, which feels like a lot. I feel like I've lived um, a lifetime in the 12 years since my diagnosis, right? I cannot, when I sat and thought about it, I cannot believe how much um, I've accomplished and done and experienced. I've moved cross country twice in 12 years. I've got married and engaged and got dogs and so many things, and my career and just, it's just, I wrote a book. It's all of it, right? In 12 years. Okay. And so that's amazing to me. And that's there's gratitude for that knowledge, right? For finding that identification piece for myself. It absolutely saved my life. And not only that, but look what it's given to me, right? Look how much else I've gotten. And so that's amazing to me. But then also, and this is kind of a little sad, and sad to me, and probably, but will feel, I think, reminiscent for you guys. And I think other people will um, understand what I mean. But I used to say when I was a kid growing up, like in my early teens, I'm not going to make it past 18. Like, the world, nobody around me understood how deeply I knew that I didn't belong in the world, right? Even at 12, 13, 14, I was well aware that the world was not built for me, that I was not meant to feel comfortable in the world as it is, and that very clearly I knew that I didn't belong here. And so I could not imagine making it much past 18. Right? And by that I mean I wasn't sure why my life would end particularly, and not necessarily by my own hands, right? But I just knew that I was so ill-fitted to this world, right? That I couldn't imagine making it past 18. And I would say it regularly, right? And then I turned 18 and I was like, that's okay. I'll never make it to 30, right? And then I got to 30, right? And then I almost didn't make it to 40. And now I'm sitting on the cusp of 49, right? And my 49-year-old brain cannot fathom that I made it past 18, because my 49-year-old brain still thinks it's 30 and doesn't understand, and 16 sometimes, and a whole bunch of other ages. I just don't feel that I've lived those 49 years fully. I feel like I've only lived the last 12 fully. So I feel like I'm just getting started, and yet I'm 49, and there's some grief with that piece. There's definitely some sadness around it. Um, but it's kind of amazing to me because, like, for the same person who didn't think that they would make it to 18 to be like, in a year, I'm going to be 50. That's absurd. That's absurd. My brain can't function around it. And so it's this weird dichotomy I'm kind of going through with this birthday right now, coming up. I am going to be taking that week off. So I can tell you that now, that last week in April, I will not be doing a gratitude. I will try to throw up a recorded something maybe the day after or something. But I'm gonna take my birthday for myself, as I always do, and so I'm gonna be also be taking some time off of work that week, and so I'm gonna take care of myself around my birthday. But I just wanted to share that with you, so because those are thoughts that to me are particularly relevant to someone who was late identified autistic neurodivergent. Um, just that feeling of loss, of the loss of life, the loss of time, um, that we've all, I think, those of us who are late identified, feel like was almost stolen from us in a way, um, because it was very clear to us and those around us that we didn't fit in this world. We didn't fit in all the boxes that had been created, and so um, that's what I think about. on this birthday. That's what I've been thinking about. And so I don't know. What do you think about around your birthday? And do you, if you're a late identified autistic neurodivergent person, do you think about these pieces about when that came into your life and how that's changed you? For good, for bad, all of those things, just how it has come in and just the impact of that into your life. Sorry for kicking the desk. It's humongous. Um, and so that's the thought I want to leave you with is that even 12 years later, right? Um, I'm still in awe of the impact of self awareness, right? The impact of community, right? The impact of understanding your strengths and your triggers, right? I'm just in awe. Um, and so with that, and that, again, but also the same time, how validating to me and for me to have this 12 years and know that the course that I created it's so on target. It so exactly works. It's still working for me. And my students that are out there that have done it and years later, it's still working for them. And so if you haven't checked out Self-Defined Living, I'm just going to say it now. If you haven't checked out my course, Self-Defined Living, it's a self-study virtual course, right? Thank you. Thank you, Bernard, for saying that. But I feel like it's a brilliant course. And so it's called Self-Defined Living. It's a self-study virtual personal development course designed and created and taught by Autistic for autistics, right? It is the information we need to create a life, right, that feels like our own, to build a life that supports us and our needs, to build a life with autistic pride involved, to build a life with community involved, and to make sure that our quality of life is up to our autistic standards, right? And so if you're interested, if you're in a place where you feel like any or all of that might help you, I really recommend heading over to my website. The little self-defined living shoppy is open. I've got some incredible tools there for you guys that are easy to try out. They're relatively low expense, so you can give them a try. It'll give you a sense of how I teach and what the kinds of things are that I teach. And then please, please, please check out the course, which is on there. It is up for a new low price that it hasn't been up for in a couple of years. So if you're interested, now is the time. And I really appreciate you considering it. I really, really do. I see posts all the time on Facebook, and I don't do well being a salesperson. I'm not gifted with that kind of sales ability, and so I often feel bad or guilty or pushy posting my course places, and so I hope other people will find it this way. And thank you, Burnett. Burnett says in the chat, self-defined living changed my life. I got so much more out of it than I imagined. What I learned from you in the course years ago still positively impacts my life today. So validating, right? Thank you, Burnett. That is beautiful. I couldn't ask for a nicer review, a more accurate review. And so I really, really love that word of mouth spreads the course itself, and that the folks that it does touch, myself aside, right? It's really impacting people's lives. I mean, Burnett took this course really years ago, right? When it was really just coming out. And so it was still really fresh for me. And so knowing that it's still impacting those same people, I consider it an investment in self, is what I say. And it's self-paced, self-study. You get everything when you pay for it, and you can walk yourself through it. And then part of the package is if you want or need or are interested in one-on-one mentoring sessions with me, you get them at a discounted price. So that is my sales pitch at the end of Growing Gratitude. The link to the course and the shop and the website and lots of other things is in the description of this video. So please head over and check it out. I thank you guys for bearing with me in my lateness today, but we now have a plan. We have a forward plan for how we're going to handle it and keep it flexible, because I want this to be fun for us. I want it to be the space that we meet in to hang out and chat about what's really happening and what really matters in our lives as autistic people. So Thank you. Thank you for joining me today on Sunday. With that, I will say, I am reminding you, as always, to take care of your meat suit, to protect your headspace. And as always, please keep your eyes, ears, nose, mouth, hands, heart, everything open to all the glimmers out there. They are super small these days, but they are ever so impactful. So keep your eyes open for them, looking for them, and share them with us. I love hearing from you guys. Feel free to put them in the comments when good things happen. And I will see you next Sunday at 10 a.m. here on the YouTube channel. I will not be putting a link up early. I will just see you here at 10 o'clock. You will get the notification that I'm live, and you can just hop right in. And with that, you guys, have a good rest of your day and a fabulous week. To my patrons, you will get my journal update. I'm sure I will have more things to say, either about flexibility and thinking about those things, or about this what feels like pending birthday to me. But I'll see you guys on Patreon, and I will see you here on YouTube live next Sunday. Have a good one, you guys. Say bye, Mills. Say bye. Say bye-bye. Thanks, guys. Bye.